As Interim Dean of the University of Pittsburgh School of Law, it is my great honor and privilege to welcome our distinguished speaker, Emily Kincaid, my faculty and staff colleagues, members of the class of 2024, and your family and friends to the commencement of the class of 2024. This is a special day for the graduating class and for the School of Law. For our class of 2024, this day is a day of completion, of achievement, and of celebration. It marks the end of a long journey, a journey marked by intellectual challenges, hard work, the development of important relationships, and personal and professional growth. This journey has called on you to demonstrate adaptability and resilience in the face of disruptive events on the global and local scales. From reading cases for class, to representing clients in the clinics, to competing in moot court competitions, to organizing auctions to raise money for public interest work, to working in judicial chambers as externs. You've had a full 3 years. I applaud your dedication and your perseverance, both of which are good predictors for your future success as attorneys. This is your day, and you should be rightfully proud of your accomplishment. But we all know that we never accomplish anything alone. And in your hard work over the past 3 years, you have been supported by those who love you. So I want to take a few minutes to acknowledge the contribution of family members and loved ones and their presence here today, for they are celebrating as well. Parents of our graduates may be celebrating for several reasons. Some may be glad to have a lawyer in the family, even if they're a bit concerned about your finely honed argumentation skills. Some parents may be relieved that you are finally finished with school. But I'm confident, as a parent myself, that they are uniformly proud of you for the hard work that you have put in to accomplish your goal, and are pleased by the opportunities that the future holds for you. I'd like to ask the parents of the graduating class of 2024 who are present to please stand as you're able, so that the members of the class can join me in giving you a round of appreciative applause. The spouses and partners of our graduates have their own reasons for celebrating as well. They have witnessed the transformation that law school can produce in an individual, and they've been by your side for late nights, for stressful weeks, for the successes and disappointments that each member of the graduating class has experienced. On behalf of the law school, my thanks to the spouses and partners of the graduating class of 2024 for sharing your loved one with us for 3 years. And I'd like to ask you to rise so that we can all give you a hand as well. The final group that I'd like to acknowledge separately, I know is smaller, both in number and probably size. I'd like any children of the graduating class of 2024 to stand or be lifted up, as the case may be. You should be very proud of what your parent has accomplished through hard work, and along with the graduating class, I offer my thanks. But members of the class of 2024, it's not only the members of your family who have helped you accomplish what you have over the past 3 years. And I'll just say, knowing how important family is in Pittsburgh, I sincerely hope that none of the siblings, grandparents, aunts, uncles, or cousins who are here today don't feel slighted by not having been asked to stand. But class of 2024, you have also been supported in your journey by the tremendously dedicated and talented Pitt Law staff, many of whom are here today with us. From deciding to admit you to the law school, to registering you for classes, to providing support for student activities, to helping you figure out what kind of job you want and then to get it, to encouraging your preparation for the bar examination. The Pitt Law staff have been with you every step of the way. Please join me in thanking them for all that they have done to foster a welcoming and supportive community at Pitt Law. My faculty colleagues sitting here on the stage have also played an important and valuable role in what you have learned, and perhaps more importantly, in what you have become. The law faculty at the University of Pittsburgh is among the nation's finest. These gifted teachers and scholars have given a significant part of themselves to all the graduates we celebrate today. Over the past 3 years, they have made you squirm at times, and they have helped those light bulb moments to occur. And they've advised you on how to get through law school and what to do with your life afterwards. They've taught you about asking questions and about discovering and communicating answers. And I hope that you'll join me in expressing appreciation for the faculty's teaching and guidance. And now, without further delay, we'll let the commencement ceremony begin. I welcome our Dean of Students, Allie Linsenmeyer, to introduce our next speaker.
Thank you, Dean Crossley. I am pleased to have the honor of introducing our first student speaker, SBA President Min Song. During her time at Pitt Law, Min has served as a 1L class representative, vice president, and the president of SBA. She was also a founder and co-founder of First Class, which is a new student organization at Pitt Law supporting first-generation law students. She was vice president of APULSA and the events coordinator of PLISIF. Min served on various Pitt Law committees, such as the Standards and Petitions Committee, the Diversity Committee, and the PLISIF Scholarship Committee. Min also served as Pitt Law's representative for the ABA Law Student Division, Pitt's Graduate and Professional School Graduate Council, as well as the University Council on Graduate Studies. Additionally, if there is more, Min worked with Professors Weisberg, Harris, Sundquist, and Young, serving as a teaching assistant for all four of them, and also served as the articles editor for the Pitt Law Law Review. During law school, Min worked in a variety of different settings. She was an extern at the U.S. Attorney's Office, an intern with Judge Colville at the U.S. District Court, a law clerk at Dickey McCamey, and a summer associate at Littler Mendelsohn. She will return to Littler Mendelsohn as a full-time first-year associate after she completes the bar exam. Min not only focused on her JD, but is also a candidate for the JD MPH, Masters in Public Health with the School of Public Health. Before attending Pitt Law, Min received her BA from the University of Pittsburgh in Politics, Philosophy, and Environmental Studies. She is a proud New Yorker, having grown up in Brooklyn, New York, just like my parents, and has now made Pittsburgh home as a Pittsburgh transplant. During her spare time, Min is an avid hiker, volunteers at an animal shelter, and enjoys spending time with her friends and family. It is my true pleasure to invite Min to the podium.
Esteemed faculty, honored guests, and my fellow graduates, as I stand before you today, I am honored to announce that I will be serving as the new Dean of Pitt Law. I'm just kidding. Truly, it's hard to believe that our time at Pitt Law has come to an end. We're parting ways with bear hugs and boldly offering advice to incoming students, the most popular being where the best place to cry on campus is. It's up for debate, but the class of 2024 knows that it's the 4th floor of the Barker Library. Law school is not for the faint of heart, and we know all too well that the stereotypes about us are true. Each of the graduates today are ambitious, brilliant, perseverant, and of course, can recite the Constitution by heart. And if you don't believe me, just ask them at dinner tonight. But we weren't always this confident. Our first year of law school, we feared cold calls, stressed over every exam, and often questioned our sanity for committing to a profession where the go-to answer is, it depends. We spent countless hours in our windowless classrooms, delving into 90-pound case books, and dissecting court decisions that would later find themselves overturned. The better part of our last 3 years was dedicated to grappling with what we believe is right and pondering how we can effectuate meaningful change in the world through the ever-changing field of law. Now, as we sit here with our TAMs and our gowns, we don't just hold diplomas. We carry with us knowledge, experience, and a profound sense of purpose regarding what it truly means to be a lawyer. At our core, we thrive to ardently champion causes, fiercely advocate for justice, and steadfastly uphold individuals' rights. There's something profound about the idea that it will one day be our own words that find their place in those revered casebooks, being the bane of some poor law student out there. But it's a reminder that what we go on to do will have an impact in not only the legal profession, but everyday lives, and it's up to us to create the change we wish to see in this world. So, here's to us, class of 2024, a cohort of dreamers, scholars, and champions of justice. May we go forth from this place, emboldened by the knowledge that we are equipped with the courage, compassion, and conviction to frame a brighter future for future generations to come. And although our time as law students has come to an end, our impact on the world is just beginning. Hail to Pitt.
Thank you, Min. It is now my pleasure to introduce Katarina Vassel, who is class president of the University of Pittsburgh School of Law's class of 2024. During her time at Pitt Law, Katarina has served as a 2L class representative of the SBA and is currently the 3L class president. She has competed on the mock trial team for the past 2 years, representing Pitt Law at 3 competitions. She has represented Pitt Law at the Loyola National Health Law Transactional Competition for 2 years running. Additionally, Katarina worked with Professor Lipton as a legal writing teaching assistant, Professor Sundquist as a criminal law teaching assistant, and Professor Young as an evidence assistant, and served as the lead articles editor for the Pitt Law Journal of Law and Commerce, as well as serving as a Pitt Law ambassador. During law school, Katarina worked for Baps, Callan, Clemens, and Zomnier as a summer associate and will return to the firm as a full-time litigation associate after she successfully completes the bar exam. Before attending Pitt Law, Katarina received her BS in Public Health from Temple University in Philadelphia. She is a proud Pennsylvanian growing up in Lancaster, PA, and is excited to start her career here in Pittsburgh. During her spare time, she enjoys cooking, cycling, volunteering, and spending time with her friends and family. I'm thrilled she's decided to stay here locally with us, and I am so pleased to invite her to the podium.
Happy graduation day, everyone. In a perfect world, I would stand up here and reflect on the last 3 years in a way that's personal to every graduate sitting in this room. But that's impossible because this journey has been unique for each one of us. So instead, I want to share some of my hopes for the Pitt Law class of 2024. Now, this might explain in part how I ended up in law school, but I grew up watching Legally Blonde. And one of my favorite lines from the movie is when Warner asks Elle, "You got into Harvard Law?" And her response is, "What, like it's hard?" I think we can all admit that law school has been pretty hard. But I hope that we look back on the 3 years fondly and treasure the time spent living in Pittsburgh, the personal and professional growth, and the friends that we've made along the way. I hope we remember the long days and late nights studying and stressing over cold calls, readings, and exams that taught us resilience and taught us that we can do hard things. I hope we're kind to ourselves if we notice a couple more gray hairs or darker bags under our eyes than we started with. Remember, gray hair is making a comeback. And as I've been saying for the last 3 years, these bags are designer. I hope we recognize the value and the privilege of our degrees. I hope we remember that every day is an opportunity to do good and to leave the world better than we found it. So seize the day. Last year, a friend gave me a really great piece of advice when I was stressing over school. She told me, "You're a law student second, and you're a person first." I hope we all remember that we are lawyers second and people first. This career is just one piece of the deeply fulfilling lives that I hope we all have. I hope we all remember to take care of ourselves, to take care of each other, and to take care of the people and things that matter to us. A few weeks ago, I was talking to a woman who's retiring this summer. And as she was talking about her long career, she said that now she can look back and see all the things that she did, but she wishes she had taken the time to acknowledge her successes along the way. This class has collectively accomplished so much. Almost 9,000 hours of pro bono and community service, not only competing at moot court and mock trial competitions across the country, but advancing to regionals, nationals, and sweeping entire competitions. And that's just a couple highlights from our last 3 years. On top of that, we've all experienced our own personal achievements and milestones over these last 3 years, with today being a huge one. I hope we remember to take a step back, to recognize and celebrate our accomplishments along the way. On behalf of the entire class, I want to thank our people, our families, our friends, and everyone who has supported us throughout law school and beyond. We would not have made it to this point without your generosity, shoulders to cry on, and encouragement. And finally, to the graduates. As you congratulate the people around you today, take time to congratulate yourself and to reflect on all that you've accomplished and overcome during your time at Pitt Law. We all have so much to be proud of, and I hope that each one of us can see that. Congratulations to the Pitt Law class of 2024. It's been a long time coming, but we did it. Woo! And now that I've shared some of my hopes for the Pitt Law class of 2024, I hope you all join me in recognizing the winner of the Robert T. Harper Excellence in Teaching Award, Dean Ann Sinsheimer.
Well, thank you. I was very surprised, I would say shocked, actually, to hear about this, and very, very honored. I have been teaching at Pitt for a number of years, a number that is coming way too close to 30. You should know that I have stayed here for this long because of you and other students that have come before you who have enriched my life and continue to enrich my life. The last several years has brought me the opportunity to launch the Resilience and Engagement Project. For many of you, this has meant that I have been chasing you down incessantly to ask you, what's it like to be a student at Pitt Law? And I began this work because it is my deeply held belief that you are all born learners, and that law school should not and need not ever make you doubt or question that. The legal profession is rigorous, and you will no doubt be challenged. Don't fear that. I know that you are up for these challenges and that you have the capacity to learn and succeed in this profession. And even more importantly, I know that you can have the capacity to define what success looks like for you. Congratulations, and thank you. And I'm looking forward to chasing you down to learn what it's like for you after Pitt Law. So.
Thank you, Katarina and Dean Sinsheimer, and congratulations on this well-deserved honor. Anne is an incredible teacher, a creative and path-breaking scholar, a valued colleague, and a dear friend. I'm grateful for all that she does for our law school and its students. I now have the honor of introducing our guest and speaker, Pitt Law alum and member of the Pennsylvania House of Representatives, Emily Kincaid. Since 2020, Representative Emily Kincaid has served Pennsylvania's 20th House District, which includes Ross Township, Avalon, Bellevue, Westview boroughs, and parts of the city of Pittsburgh. In her first term, Representative Kincaid was assigned to serve on the House Appropriations, Judiciary, Human Services, and Agriculture and Rural Affairs committees. Now in her second term, Kincaid serves as secretary of both the Human Services and Agriculture committees. Additionally, she serves as chair of the Judiciary Subcommittee on Crime and Corrections and the Appropriations Subcommittee on Fiscal Policy. She is the House chair of the Legislative Hunger Caucus and on the leadership team of the Pennsylvania Progressive Caucus. After earning degrees in biology and political science at Bloomsburg University of Pennsylvania, Emily Kincaid began her career advocating and working for people with disabilities in Washington, D.C. She then pivoted to return to the kind of work that she had started in college, advocating for good government reform. Kincaid joined the organization Common Cause, where she helped to organize public education programming, exposing the disenfranchising effects of gerrymandering and money in politics, while mobilizing youth to demand responsive climate change policy. She then moved to the Legislative Policy Office of the National Institutes of Health, which works to educate members of Congress about the need for investment in medical research and reviews the impact of proposed legislation on the NIH and its projects. Kincaid also worked as the logistics coordinator for the U.S. Department of Transportation's Summer Diverse Internship Program. And then she went back to law school. While working toward her law degree at the University of Pittsburgh School of Law, Kincaid interned at a legal aid clinic in Eldoret, Kenya, protecting the rights of HIV-positive individuals and victims of gender or domestic violence. Stateside, she applied those skills and refined them during her internship at Pittsburgh's Neighborhood Legal Services Office, where she assisted low-income tenants in landlord-tenant disputes across the region, and at the Pitt Law Immigration Clinic, where she helped clients seeking asylum or otherwise needing assistance navigating the complex U.S. immigration system. She also served as an intern law clerk to U.S. Magistrate Judge Lisa Pupo-Linehan. Following graduation, Kincaid clerked for the Honorable Judge Michael H. Wojcik of the Commonwealth Court of Pennsylvania before going into private practice. Beyond her service in the Pennsylvania House, Kincaid currently serves on the boards of Alcosan, the Pennsylvania Prison Society, and Scenic Pittsburgh, and she's one of the Pennsylvania House appointees to the State Council for Interstate Juvenile Supervision. A staunch believer that the government's calling is to do the most good for the most people, Kincaid has vocally championed the policies that help working families and raise up communities, including criminal justice reform, addressing food insecurity, affordable housing, livable wages, worker protections, health care, LGBTQIA+ protections, reproductive justice, adequately funding education, and more. And she's also focused on issues that affect her constituents locally, issues like blighting and landslides. A native of Pittsburgh's North Side, Emily lives in Brighton Heights with her cats and dog. Please join me in welcoming Representative Emily Kincaid.
Try not to knock anything off of here. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? It's graduation day, come on. My name's Emily Kincaid, and I'm a state representative serving Pittsburgh's north side and northern suburbs. More importantly, I'm Pitt Law, class of 2016. It is such an honor to be here today. Though, admittedly, I thought that more of my professors had to be retired before I qualified. And it's possible that I've spent more time working on this speech than I did on any of my papers in law school. I also suppose this means that I have to stop convincing people not to go to law school. Pitt Law 2024, let me begin by congratulating you from the bottom of my heart. This achievement was not an easy task, but you did it. As we gather here to celebrate you with your friends and family, those are the vaguely familiar people not in regalia. Don't worry, you'll have time to get to know them again. I'm reminded of what it felt like to sit where you are and wonder what the future would hold. Goodness, it feels like it was only like 8 years ago. I know that some of you basically exited the womb yelling, "I object!" And some of you channeled your inner Elle Woods and thought one day, I could go to law school. Most of you fall somewhere in between. I was 17 years old when I was told for the first time that I should go to law school. It was my dad, right after I'd successfully argued that he should sign off on my getting a belly button piercing. Just a reminder that with great power comes great responsibility. Use your lawyer's superpowers for good. Looking back, I'm actually surprised that was the first time someone suggested that I become a lawyer, because if anyone has met me or been in my general vicinity, they know that I have a lot of opinions and I'm not shy about sharing them. And now Pitt Law has given me a microphone and a captive audience. My career has been a jungle gym and not a ladder. I graduated from college during the deepest part of the Great Recession, and I had absolutely no plan for how I was going to get a job after graduation. But I knew that I wanted to be living in DC and working in politics. So I moved to DC and I started working with people with disabilities, helping them to be able to advocate for themselves. I bounced around to a few other jobs, including working for the National Institutes of Health. Hey, Dr. Fauci. Before I realized that I was not going to get above an assistant level position without a higher degree. So when I talk about the law school grads that had their Elle Woods moment, it's me, hey. But however you got here, you made it. Some of you have job offers, some of you don't. Some of you are staying local, some of you are on the first plane out. Some of you have a detailed plan of your career mapped out through retirement. Some of you still aren't totally sure what area of law you actually want to practice. I'm here to tell you that all of those things are fine, and all of that is subject to drastic change. You will not get the things that you want or expect. Sometimes you will get better things you never had on the radar. I'm just saying, I ran for SBA and lost. But I do remember acutely what it felt like to be where you are, and I'm so grateful to the Pitt Law faculty and staff who work every single day to produce world-class attorneys and foster their success. Let's give these folks a big hand. When I first got accepted to Pitt Law, this lady kept emailing me and telling me that if I had any questions, I could call her anytime. Well, the day that I had to decide which school I was going to, I was still undecided. So I called her, and she sat on the phone with me for fully 45 minutes, going point by point through the comparison of schools, and she told me, I want you to make the decision that is right for you, even if it means you don't come to Pitt. And that's when I knew I was going to Pitt, because they care not just about your tuition dollars and your prestige as a graduate, but about you. So keep leaning on them. Oh, and that lady, just the dean of admissions. No big deal. When I was asked to give this address, though, I thought, what could I possibly have to share with new attorneys when I still qualify for the Young Lawyers Division of the ACBA? Oh, the places you will go. Wait, no, that's not mine. Keep calm and carry on. No, not that one. Live, laugh, love. Or wait, ask not what your law school can do for you, but what you can do for your law school. Actually, that one's pretty spot on, because now that you're about to be making money, the fundraising calls are coming. Admittedly, I remember very little of the advice from my commencement speaker. In fact, I remember much more from Professor O's acceptance speech for his first ever Harper Excellence in Teaching Award. Nevertheless, here's what I can tell you, and I hope some of it will stick. Number one, hustle culture is bull-pucky. Look, as a politician, I may not be the best person to make this argument, given that my job is 24/7 and successful campaigning requires engaging in some of the most unhealthy practices. Run like you're losing, don't concede space. If you're not talking to voters or raising money, you're not doing what you should be doing. Basically, to win elected office, you need to be a ball of anxiety until the last vote is counted. So basically, law school finals. And I know I'm speaking to a crowd of mostly type A personalities, but roll with me here. You just spent the last 3 years, and in some cases 4 years, in a brutal grind, putting in 16+ hour days, losing time with your friends and family, stressing yourself out, remaking your brain and the way you think so that you can be a great lawyer, a zealous advocate for the people who need you, and to transform your life. Your graduation gift to yourself should not be more of the same. You did not become a person who is impossible to watch crime dramas with just so you can never be home to point out all the constitutional violations. I also see that Professor Harris is not here to take responsibility for that. The agreement used to be that law schools would teach you to think like a lawyer, and law firms would teach you how to practice law, and you would put in your time and grind as an associate until you made partner at that firm, and then you would train up the next generation. That's not how things work anymore. Very few people are staying at one firm for the entirety of their career. Most people move jobs every 3 to 5 years. Employers do not have a loyalty to you, and you do not have a duty of loyalty to them. We are the first generation of attorneys who can carry the office with us 24/7. The partners at your future firms may argue that they put in long hours, but when they left the office, they left the office, and you have a right to do that too. Being available at all hours is not a virtue. Carving out space for yourself is not selfish. You are an associate, you are not company property. I maintain that an employer that would like to take up space on your personal device by requiring that you have your work email on it should pay for that space accordingly. You all aren't that far removed from property. Government or not, consider it a taking. The practice of law is changing, and it is changing because we are causing the Titanic to turn. You will certainly have long days and nights at the office sometimes. For those of you entering private practice, you will have to meet or exceed your billable hour requirements. But to paraphrase from Fiddler on the Roof, even a poor associate is entitled to some happiness. Support pro-worker policies and do not tolerate workplaces that don't have them. The practice of law is filled with toxic work environments, and I am here to tell you that you deserve better. There is a reason that lawyers have a higher rate of depression, anxiety, and substance abuse than the average population. You cannot give your best 100% of the time, or that is not your best. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself grace. Hustle culture will tell you that you can address this with self-care. Treat yourself. But there's a difference between self-soothing, something that makes you feel better in the moment, and self-care. And when hustle culture talks about self-care, what is meant is the former, not the latter. Self-care is hard, which is counterintuitive, but it's the kind of stuff that you do now so you can have a better life later, like going to law school, like going to a therapist, like getting on antidepressants, like quitting a job that doesn't value you. Full disclosure, I've done all of those things. My life is pretty great, and part of that is because I take an antidepressant every day, not in spite of it. And I will never not tell people that I take medication to manage depression because there is no shame in having a mental illness and seeking treatment for it. You are all trained negotiators. Advocate for yourselves and the work-life balance that every person in this world deserves. Speaking of negotiating, number 2, talk about money. And I'm not just talking about your student loans, or as I like to call them, your brain mortgage. You have made a massive investment in yourself, and you deserve to see all of your dreams come true, full stop. Part of making that happen is knowing what you're worth and fighting to get it. I'm talking about, hi, my name is Emily, and I make $106,000 a year plus per diems. That's not a secret, you can Google it. But also, salaries and benefits should never be a secret because that's how you get underpaid, especially if you are a person of color or a woman or both. And despite all of the rumors to the contrary, I am not, in fact, a communist socialist out to destroy business and the world. Though I am an unabashed Star Trek nerd, and I am here for the Star Trek future. Still, we gotta work within the system that we have and make it better. So, capitalism. We get told basically from minute one that talking about money is tacky or impolite. But also, you're just supposed to magically know how to money, and you're supposed to trust your employer to pay you what you're worth. But the reality is that firms are going to pay you the absolute lowest amount possible that will still get you to do the job. See my previous point about employers and loyalty? Negotiation is key. For those of you who are following the same path I did and going into public service after graduation, this also applies to you. Public service is so important, and we need great attorneys who are going to be assistant district attorneys. In Allegheny County, maybe also the district attorney, but I digress. Public defenders, city and county solicitors, law clerks, ACLU attorneys, and Community Legal Services Council. We have an adversarial legal system, and that does not function unless there are good attorneys on both sides. I'm pretty sure that's the whole thrust of Gideon v. Wainwright. Dean Jerry, maybe you can confirm? But we also do this thing with nonprofit and public sector employment that says, do it because you're passionate, not for the money. And create this culture of shame if somebody wants to make more money. Believe me, I am counting the days until that sweet, sweet public loan forgiveness hits. But you are still allowed to ask for a raise. Negotiating may be harder, but you're up for the challenge. And I'm gonna give you permission right now to take a higher paying job elsewhere and find other ways to support your passions. Passion and money are not mutually exclusive. Money can't buy you happiness, sure, but money can buy you food, water, shelter, stability, safety, peace of mind, and all of the other things that allow you to find your happiness. There is no shame in wanting money, but also please remember point number 1, and do not work so hard that you burn out or start to equate your income and productivity with your self-worth. Negotiate your salary and benefits so you can live the life you want. And now that we're all uncomfortable talking about a taboo subject, number 3, get comfortable being uncomfortable. Always be intellectually curious. Push your boundaries, don't get comfortable. Surround yourself with people who will push you and call you out. Lawyers are, in essence, responsible for enforcing the ultimate contract, the social contract. And the truth is that, like any other contract, the social contract is not a moral standard. Instead, it is a set of rules that allows us to live peacefully with people from all different backgrounds and beliefs. But as with any contract, if you violate the terms, you are not entitled to its protections and benefits. Lawyers are the people we turn to when we experience the harm of someone violating the social contract. They are also the people most directly responsible for educating employers, businesses, healthcare providers, etc., when the terms and conditions of the contract change. Practicing law means sitting with people in possibly some of the worst moments of their lives. And this is true whether you practice family law, criminal law, or business law. You will be at the forefront of changing societal norms, and you will have to work to ensure that your clients understand how those changes must be incorporated into their lives. Thinking like a lawyer requires you to think spherically in many directions. It makes you well-suited for accepting more than one idea and adapting to a changing world. Our profession requires our clients to be vulnerable to us in a way that can be incredibly unsettling to them and to you. There are going to be times when you will learn things about the experiences of people who are different than you. It will make you uncomfortable. Sit with it and make that discomfort productive. Don't try to get away from it. That discomfort is teaching you something about your own personality and blind spots. Listen to it. Let it make you a better and more zealous advocate. Vulnerability is incredibly uncomfortable. And it isn't just going to be your interactions with clients that will include vulnerability. It also includes interactions with other attorneys, law firm superiors, and judges. The pressures of law school and the practice of law can breed a need for perfectionism, but perfectionism is not the same as striving for excellence. Perfectionism is a defense mechanism against feeling like you're not good enough, against feeling vulnerable and uncomfortable. Perfectionism is self-destructive, not self-improvement. It's scary and uncomfortable to not know the answer, to not know how to do something, to not be sure how a suggestion will be received. Embrace the discomfort, put yourself out there, because you do not succeed if you do not risk failing. Being a politician and being a lawyer are not so far apart. We are frequently the butt of the same jokes. We are often viewed as being greedy, conniving, dishonest, and amoral. The truth is that we are faced with some of the hardest decisions because of the work that we do. No disrespect to our friends in the medical profession, but saving someone's physical body is a lot more black and white than addressing their personal, social, economic, ethical, equitable, and legal needs within a structure that was not built to equally serve everyone. Doing the right thing is often hard, frequently painful, and sometimes unpopular. Do the right thing anyway. And speaking of doing the right thing, number 4, vote. I promise this isn't as self-serving as it sounds. It's a little self-serving. But this is also my love letter to the practice of law. Lawyers are the guiding force of justice in this world. We know intimately why and how laws need to change in order to better serve justice. So it always boggles my mind when I talk to a lawyer who says, I'm not really political. Sorry, friend, you're in the wrong profession. How can you possibly say that you aren't political at the same time that you are complaining about the injustice of certain laws for your clients? Why should we not be making our voices heard in government that literally has control over changing those laws? Right after law school, I clerked for Judge Michael Wojcik on the Commonwealth Court. It was an incredible 2 years, and I learned so much. But it also almost broke me. Because the lion's share of cases that come before the Commonwealth Court are unemployment benefits appeals. I read case after case of people who were unemployed, unrepresented, and didn't preserve the issues that they needed to in order to successfully appeal. But they should have received benefits, and would have if they'd had the benefit of counsel. Instead, I drafted opinion after opinion, denying the appeals and upholding the determination of the administrative law judge. When I would push back on what I saw as clear injustice, the judge would say, "We are an error-correcting court. We follow the law, even if we don't agree with the outcome. If you want to make the laws, go run for the legislature." Challenge accepted, sir. And even if you never run for office, let me explain to you the power of lawyers to change the world. Some of you may have heard that Harvey Weinstein's conviction was recently overturned. And it's easy to look at that and shake your fist and say, why is the world so unjust? But no matter the ultimate outcome of his retrial, we have changed laws and norms because lawyers took cases that people said were too big to win, and they won them anyway. The accepted reality for women in the workplace has been fundamentally altered. That is justice too. You need to decide what your place in all of this is. Whether it is as an attorney, a judge, or a lawmaker, you now have the tools at your disposal to make this world a more just place. And the simplest step to doing that is casting a vote for the people you think will help you to accomplish that. And not just for president, but for school board, for city council, state representative, Congress, and every position in between. Also, an important reminder for those of you who are about to be entering the courtroom as your actual job, we elect judges in this Commonwealth. Class of 2024, the person you are now is perhaps not someone you could have conjured at the start of this journey, but you are ready to take the next steps into your career with confidence. Earning your living in the practice of law is exceptional. Surviving the hard grind of study and the worst grind of public or private practice requires good health, good brains, and most certainly good luck. Work hard, but also be kind to yourself as well as others. Know your worth, and then ask for it. Be humble, but don't be afraid to humble others. And if the arc of the moral universe bends towards justice, remember always that you are the tools by which it is forced to bend. Congratulations, class of 2024, and welcome to the practice of law.
Representative Kincaid, thank you so much for your remarks and your inspiring words. They're words of wisdom to the class of 2024 to take care of yourself, be kind to yourself, advocate for yourself, sit with discomfort, and remember that you are a part of what can make this a better society. And I want to thank Representative Kincaid again for all that you do for your constituents and for the greater Pittsburgh community. Seeing an alum so dedicated to using her gifts and skills to serve others and advance the public good really affirms what we seek to do at Pitt Law. We will now proceed to the commencement of the class of 2024. Yay! Before we do that, I know that many of you in the audience will want to take photographs of your graduate. We ask that if you do leave your seat to take a picture, that you not block the view of other guests. Please know that we have professional photographers taking pictures of every graduate and that our pictures will be available for graduates to order. We have many students to honor today, and so we also ask you to hold your applause until all names are called. I know you won't do that, but we're going to ask. Some faculty members will help recognize our students today. First, Professors Jay Hornak and Marilee Nixon will read the names of the participating Certificate and Masters of Studies in Law candidates. The Master of Studies in Law degree program is for those interested in supplementing their current skills and knowledge with focused studies of the basics of the law, as well as exploration of specialized legal and regulatory areas. Then, Professors Ron Brand and Chuck Katubi will assist in presenting a degree of Doctor of Juridical Sciences to one graduate of our doctoral program for foreign scholars, as well as presenting the 29th class of Master of Laws candidates, lawyers from other countries who have engaged in an intense year of graduate study in the American legal system. Finally, my two partners in the Dean Suite, Vice Dean Jerry Dickinson and Dean of Students Allie Linsenmeyer, will read the names of the Juris Doctor candidates. All of the candidates will proceed across the stage to be congratulated and to receive a certificate of membership in the Law School's Alumni Association. So now I'll ask Professors Hornak and Nixon to come forward to announce our certificate and MSL candidate names. Thank you, Dean Crossley.
We have 10 graduates of our Master of Studies in Law program and 1 graduate of our Graduate Legal Certificate. This is Allison Marlene Clutter. Rachel Cumberland. Yawa Nicholson. Jessica Thomas. And Jason Collier.
Vicky DiDomenico. Lynette Kahn. Erica Rocha. Joshua Stewart. Catherine Stump.
And now for the LLM graduates. From Iraq, Dr. Al-Akras. Also from Iraq, Hassan Aboud. From Italy, Stefano Avogaro. From Germany, Alina Bergman. And from Nigeria, Onyinye Gandhi Chukwunyere. From Germany, Hannah Grimm. From Austria, Klara Klingensberger. And from Ukraine, Yulia Komisarchuk. From Afghanistan, Zahid Omarzai. From Ukraine, Anastasia Panchak. From Georgia, Miriam Pirvelli. From Bosnia, Amila Pivic. From Ukraine, Oksana Ryabinya. From Afghanistan, Mina Sadr. And from Panama, Mirna Soles Perez.
We have 1 May graduate from the SJD program, the Doctor of Juridical Science. This is the highest degree offered by the University of Pittsburgh School of Law. He will be hooded by his dissertation chairperson, Dr. John Linarelli. Shadi Hana Shahud.
I'm now excited to share with you our JD graduates, Emily Anderson, Miranda Aristone, Bronte Gabriela Areola, Sina Aziz, Joseph C. Bacharach, Caroline G. Bailey, Lauren Ban, Kayla Barzin, Lauren Elizabeth Bauer, James Beatty, Haley C. Behall, Patrick A. Bianconi, Kai Kyle J. Bobek. Seth Ambrose Rogers Bose. David B.S. Boyer. Desiree Amanda Basales. Chad Bumstead. Seth Byers. Darren Laborio Campazano. James E. Capone. Kellen M. Carlton. Emily K. Clark. Jacob Michael Clark. Talia Clairvaux. Caitlin Correa. Addison D. Cropper. Emily M. Cumpston. Juliana De Silva. David D. Notaris. Abby M. Dieter. Paige S. Diminick. Elise Ann Dowdall. Laura Ann Drake.
Oh my God. Oh. Okay, work on it.
Namita Dorkarnath.
Thank you.
John Richard Azak. Caroline J. Elliott.
Okay, hi, buddy.
Joseph T. Fabiano. Catherine M. Fisher.
Thank you, Dustin.
Dustin R. Foley. Edward D. Folk. Antonio Frisina.
Thank you.
Shannon Ging.
Mr. Giromi.
Alexander Paul Giomi.
Make sure he's up.
Justin J. Gismondi. Jessica Marie Guido.
You ready?
Lindsay May Gutzmer. Courtney N. Hager. Alexander R. Hancock.
You ready? Hassoon.
Natalie R. Hassoon. Zachary Michael Hogan. Stephen S. Hogan.
Ready?
Jacqueline A. Jameson.
Ready then?
Benjamin H. Jarrett. Matthew David Johnson.
You ready?
Okay. Emily R. Kaib.
Thank you. Kastenhuber.
Luke Kastenhuber. Akash Kaushal. Lou Kettering. Joshua Stephen Klingensmith. Okay, hold tight. I'm going to switch between Dickinson. And now I'm going to invite Dean Dickinson to read the second part of the alphabet.
Great. Dawson Klinger. Michaela M. Kloska. Marissa Raymond Koshar. Anita P. Krishnan. Olivia Kruger. Emily Grace Kunko. Courtney B. Lee. Wesley Lee.
Woo! Thank you.
Justin A. Lindsay. Samantha Michelle Lynn. Erica McInnes. Kadina Mancini. Grace Mannix. Amanda March. Jonah P. Markle. Humberto Merero. Benjamin J. Maselli. Victoria Diane McClaslin. China Pauline McCarron. And Aubrey J. McEwen, who is not here. Matthew F. McHugh. Daniel R. McTieran. Alexa Nicole Mellis. Anna Wally Miller Little. Jill Lorraine Mullen. There you go. Thank you. Madison Courtney Myers. Thank you. Robert C. Netchai. Good. David C. Oakley. Okay. Sophia I. Ochoa. Lauren O'Grady. Hannah Mary Olenek. Jack A. Olivita. Gwyneth Ann Ortman. Julian P. Pamplin. Congrats. Caitlin A. Pantelis. Benjamin F. Peer. Jace F. Paterikin. Danielle Catherine Patron. Good to see you, Alberto. Alberto Palmieri. Yep. Izzy Pressberry. Joan Pyle.
Appreciate you, Dean. Thanks for everything.
As always. Ernest Regicon.
Thanks, Dean.
Anna Katarina Rakic. Matthew Reynolds. Alex Rigberg. Molly Rockwood. Thomas Rodman. Congrats. Claudia Isabel Rosado Santiago. Nicholas M. Rossmiller. Hello. Pauline Mintra Roos. Emma R. Ryan. Congratulations. Daniel Paul Scapiccio. Mara Reed Schlosser. Good to see you. Richard Senor. Natalie Catherine Simmons. Genevieve R. Skariak. Adrienne Krebs Slater. Joshua Sanford Smith. Samantha K. Smith. Hello, good to see you. Caitlin V. Somerville. Jack Miller Stanton. Okay. Sophia Marie Stefanovsky. Michael Robert Stoll. Patrick Daniel Sullivan. Aiden Sylvester Harms. Aaliyah C. Taberi. Jamie Elia Tochi. Moises Alberto Tonek Bonilla. Luke Allen Torrance. Luke. Nicole E. Sierras. Daniel J. Tublin. Bailey Ann Verratti. Kylie Marie Verbanek. Anastasia Louise Wagner. Meadow L. Walshaw Wirtz. Zachary R. Wiener. Zachary. Erica Wilson. Nina Soraya Wiara Jamira. Rebecca B. Yeager-Malkin. Marissa Zupancic. Katarina Vassel. Last but not least, Min K. Song. Congratulations.
And now, the moment you have waited for these long years. Would the class of 2024 please rise? Move your purple tassel from the right to the left, and by the authority vested in me as Dean of the University of Pittsburgh School of Law, I pronounce you graduates of the School of Law. Congratulations to you all. Please be seated. Wow, y'all are a good crowd. It is now my pleasure to invite Kevin Tucker, Vice President of the University of Pittsburgh Law Alumni Association and a proud member of the class of 2011, to share a few words of welcome with our graduates.
This is the worst spot of the whole lineup. When they told me I'd be last, I didn't know it was this. Graduation looks a lot different on this side of the podium. I never expected to be here. I frequently tell folks that no one has worked so hard to get such a poor grade as I did in con law. It took a year or two to figure out the game of law school, and by the time I did, it was graduation and we were done. So without a job, I focused on helping people, because that's what you do with a law degree. I traveled to law school fairs for the admissions office. I volunteered for a federal judge downtown. I started picking up contract work doing prisoner civil rights cases and employment laws. Through one relationship, then another, I kept plugging along. After 10 years, I was a partner at a firm litigating class actions across the country, and today I manage my own firm. I say this because I don't think I ever provided someone with a copy of my transcript. Instead of my modest grades, I was carried along by the same things that will carry you: a first-class education, a professional development office committed to serving its alumni in addition to its students, a ready-made group of colleagues in a Pitt Law community that no matter where you go, will help if you ask. The bond of being a Pitt Law grad is a strong one and a permanent one. Your collective experiences, accomplishments, and achievements at Pitt Law were extraordinary, and were supported by many. You now carry on a great tradition of exceptional lawyers, trailblazers, and zealous advocates who have made and will make a real difference in our world. We, your fellow graduates, welcome you to the bar and to the University of Pittsburgh Law Alumni Association. Through this association, we support the efforts of the law school and its students. We provide networking and educational programs for our graduates. We highlight the achievements of our alumni, and we create mentoring opportunities for law students and young lawyers. We are here for you, just as we expect you to be here for Pitt Law's future. Congratulations. We wish you every measure of success in the future. You got this.
Thank you, Kevin, for your message to our graduates and for all the good works that you and your fellow alumni do for the Pitt Law. We couldn't be prouder of you. So that concludes the formal ceremonies. At this point, those of us sitting on the stage will recess first, and I would ask that the rest of you remain seated at that point. We'll be followed by the graduates, and then all of the other guests are welcome to exit. To our newest graduates, you have our congratulations, our best wishes, and our very highest hopes. To all our guests, thank you for joining us in this celebration of achievement. And I hope that you all will head down the road and join us on the first floor of the law school for a reception in honor of the graduating class. Thank you.